Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Today, we're gonna be getting the heads and other accessories put on this engine here. I finally got the head alignment dowels and the little stuff there. But first order of business is going to be cleaning up this work area because it is less than ideal right now. You can see we got parts everywhere and things taken off from the old engine, all the new parts and stuff sitting on that shelf over there. So I'd like to get this all kind of cleaned up and workable. I'm gonna get you guys up on the tripod and we will see you when I'm done. Much better. So I'm going to get this back on the table. I'm gonna refix and figure out how I want this to be situated. We're gonna kind of go from there. So see you after that. All right, so this is way better. We have support top and bottom now, so when we go to rotate this engine over and do stuff on both sides, we're not gonna have any issues. I'm gonna get this moved back over to the engine stand. We're gonna move the heads onto this cloth here and start on the head alignment dowels and start to get the heads ready to be bolted on. All right, this gives us a way better view of the underside too. So as you can see in here, we've got H-beam rods. This is a STI nitrated crank. These are brand new case halves from Subaru too, so they're not seasoned. And you can see here, our brand new forged pistons. What's kind of cool too is I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see where they do the closed decked pieces. You can see this little ring, and those are press fit in there and then it's machined flat again. And this gives extra rigidity on these walls, so these pistons don't experience any flex within the cylinder wall and you don't end up, blowing up a motor. Really, really cool. Here are the heads. These have been vamped by the machine shop, so they have brand new valves, lapping. They have a really nice finish on the mating surface, so we should get a nice seal with the head gaskets on the new motor. I did buy these secondhand, but they were never reinstalled on a car, so the guy went through them and then he just never ended up rebuilding his car or something. I don't know the full story, but these should be perfect for our new engine. I would love to build these. The only problem is that this is very expensive. So this is kind of where we're at right now. However, it will be just fine. We have that ported and polished billet wheel turbo right there. So for this setup, that's gonna be just fine. However, in the future, this block is rated for about 700 horsepower. So if we built the heads, went rotated, or just maybe like a Blausch 2.5, something around that range, it'd be a nice 500 horsepower setup, which is kind of the end goal. I don't think this car really needs any more than that. So we'll kind of see where we land. We finally got our head alignment dowels in. So here they are. There's the part number. These should be OEM Subaru head alignment dowels. We also got a new crank bolt. We also got some billet half moons. The factory half moons on these heads are plastic and they've been known to leak. So these were like 60 bucks and I figured, why not? We're already doing all this and I would hate to have the heads leak because I didn't use a $60 part. I'm gonna get these cams out of the way after we throw the head alignment dowels in. The head studs go underneath where the cams are. So you have to get the cams out of the way. Don't mix up the caps or the cams. They are specific to where they are. Also with the buckets, be very careful. If these buckets fall out, you'll have to re-shim and measure all of them to make sure that you're putting them in the right spots. Because if you don't, you could tear the head apart, send shrapnel through the engine, and then next thing you know, your new engine is dead, it's gone. So be very, very careful, be particular, label it out. Don't mix up anything. All right, so we need to take this upper carriage off these heads. It consists of these 10 mils here, and then we're gonna pull the cams out. We're gonna be very careful of the buckets. I might even just lightly tape them down with some painter's tape, just to keep everything where it needs to be. I'm also going to mark these. Machine shop did go through here and label these with a punch. So there is some sort of orientation. I kind of know where everything needs to go, but we're gonna start with this head, get it all apart, everything organized, and then go through with the next head as well. So generally these have a little bit of RTV, so it's nice to take a rubber hammer. Do not take a metal hammer to this, you can damage it. So if we get our rubber mallet here, we'll kind of just lightly tap this till it breaks loose and this whole upper carriage comes off. So this is just like the front races and stuff for the, I guess, bearings for the cams. Everything looks to be in pretty decent shape. We'll clean this up and throw some assembly lube on these so we can make sure it's nice and lubed on for startup. So there is our first cap. If it'll focus, you can kind of see right there the casting mark. The machine shop marked this as right exhaust. So that's at least nice for me. I kind of know where these need to go, but I'm also going to position these in a way that I will not forget where they go. So these cams should be ready to come out now. So we're just gonna carefully pull these out, give them a nice little quick inspection. Now for the intake cam. Also looking pretty good. Pull one of these out. You can see on the back side they have this 501. So that is its measurement. We're gonna take all these buckets out too. I can see some debris down in there. Clean these out, but that 501 is a specific measurement that these came in from factory. So I'd have to look it up. I think that represents the amount of thou that they have between that side of the bucket and here. But yeah, the underside of these buckets, there's a lot of debris in there. So we're gonna get these cleaned out too, because I would like everything to be nice and clean. Oh, as you can see here, this is a 496 bucket. With those cams out of the way, you can see here, here, and here is where we put our head studs. So that's why we had to get the cam out of the way. The cam blocks off. You could maybe get to these ones here, but these ones are impossible. So you get the cams out of the way, we're gonna throw it on the head, torque it down to torque spec, based off ARP. We have some ARP 625s, I think is what they're called. Yeah, these are the ARP 625 pluses. If we open these up, get this out of the way. So as you can see, we have ARP assembly lube. We have their washers and nuts along with the head studs. So these are super, super nice set, hold ton of power, super reliable. Highly recommend these for any Subaru build. I wouldn't even go with any other brand, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go ahead, rotate that motor. This is the driver head side. So I'm gonna get this situated on the head with the head alignment dowels and get it all put back together before I do the passenger side. That way when I rotate the motor, I don't have to worry about all the buckets and stuff moving out. I need to clean that surface, clean this surface, clean out all these buckets, blow out this head, make sure it's ready to go. You want no debris in here. Any debris that goes in here is gonna be in your oil, so that is a big no-no. So get it nice and clean. You don't want to mix match these buckets. They are specific to location, as I said before. So we're going to be really careful and make sure. Before I put these on, I'm going to put a little dab of assembly lube in these, just so they have some lubricant. Yeah, these were really gross. As you can see, really, really nasty. We don't want any of that gunk going through the engine. We're just gonna put a little dab on top of there, nothing crazy. We'll take and put some of this around the bucket. You want everything to be nice and lubed up. You don't want a bunch of metal on metal when you're starting up an engine, especially a brand new one. There's already enough going on. That's going to ensure that we have nice lubrication. I'm gonna go through and clean all these buckets, and I will see you when we're gonna put the head on. Any sort of cleaner will work for this. I'm just using some carburetor choke cleaner slash throttle body cleaner because this is what I have. But brake clean, this, they're all about the same. So just something that is not gonna destroy the engine. So brake cleaner, throttle body cleaner, carb cleaner, anything like that. I'm gonna be using that with these blue shop rags. These are awesome for everything to do with engine cleanup and stuff. They don't leave a lot of lint, and they're cheap, so you can use a bunch of them, and they're way better than paper towels. I mean, look how dirty that rag is. This is why we want to clean this stuff. You don't want to trap that between the head gasket and the block, or the head gasket and the head itself. These are the alignment dowels. They go on the top of the motor on both sides. So this guy's gonna go here, and this one's gonna go here. I went with Pro Seal performance gaskets. I was recommended these by the engine builder, Teeterbilt. So we'll see how these go. As you can see here, this is a MLS gasket. That means it's got multi layers of steel. With Subarus, you can put these on backwards. So the way I have this on now, you can see we have gaps. There's pieces that are misaligned. It just doesn't really make sense. You want to make sure that these are put on the right way. These are specific. So you can see, like, you got this weird gap here to the outside of the block. these kind of line up, and down here you have like a gap here or whatever. So these are specific on how they need to go on. What you want to do is make sure specifically here and the rest of these ports around the engine are lined up. Now I do have a closed decked engine, so it does look a little weird, but this is how it is supposed to line up. All right, all the buckets are cleaned. They got assembly lube on them, so they're nice and lubed up for the first start. Let's put this on the engine. Don't forget to wipe off the surfaces, make sure they're nice and clean. Head on. Okay, here are our ARP 625 plus head studs. Here's the instructions, the nice sticker. These will be the torque down sequence and install process. We have the nuts, the washers, the assembly lube, and the studs. Okay, first step is to make sure everything is dry. What we're first gonna do is blow out that hole, and then we're gonna install this head stud. All right, we're gonna take this head stud. This just drops down into here. And we'll give those a light snug, like just super light snug with a wrench. So I got the nuts cleaned up and I put some lubricant down on this face. What you can do is mash these two faces together, and now you have two that are ready to go. Make sure to follow AARP's torque specs. It's very important. They know what they're doing. Okay. Step number 1 for torquing. We need to start with position number 1, and we are going to start at 35 foot-pounds. This is a little torque meter that I bought. It's on a normal torque wrench, but I got this just to make sure that the torque is correct. Next step is 70 foot-pounds. Step 3 is 100 foot-pounds. Head is torqued down, so now we can get the cams and the cam journals and carriage back on, and we will get that all nice and tight, and then we'll flip around to the other side and do the other side. So I currently don't have any, but it is recommended to put RTV around these parts because the head can leak from here since the valve cover only goes up around here. So I need to get some RTV. I'm not gonna bolt this down just yet. These are just loose, just barely hand tight just to hold everything in place. But I'm gonna get the other side ready and then we can do that. I unfortunately forgot to film an outro. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and stay tuned for the next video.